keeping you guessing. So defensively, especially when Keedy and Joe were, you put them together, was that more of what you want to see? How good was the defense at that point?
Yeah, I thought for the most part that's as well as we've played defensively. We fell asleep a few times. I know we're standing there watching the ball and guys cut behind us and so forth, but if we get that fixed, I think we'll have a pretty good chance to be a pretty good team.
Talked about difficulties playing them together just because it could create foul problems at that position, but how dynamic is it when they're out there together?
Well, we've talked extensively about that we don't have a backup for them, so they've got to be smart and not make dumb fouls. They're going to get called for fouls, but you can't get dumb fouls, and I think they're getting better at it. You heard kind of all week about how good the little guy is in Birmingham, and I kept saying he hadn't seen Keedy yet. And Keedy did a terrific job. And then when he wasn't on him, Joe was on him, and Joe did a good job on him. So those two were not just at the defensive end, but they're both hard to guard at the offensive end. I think Keedy was, 1 or 2 away from his all-time high, I think. Something like that.
You mentioned how well this team gets along together, how much they like each other. Does that play a little bit into the fact when 1 or 2 guys are having an off night, they don't get down, they're still cheering on the other guys, the guys that are in for them, and picking them up?
Well, I mean, probably the truth of the matter is the guy who's probably been the most vocal leader anyways didn't hardly play today, and he's fine. He's on the bench and he's cheering, and he made a few mistakes, and I'm trying to get him to be more of a guard. We need another guard, and he's played off the ball so much in his career, and I need to get him so that we have that third guy.
Emmett goes down, and you got to go for a second, but then he comes back and has one of his best games: 16 points, 9 rebounds.
Emmett wants to be here. I mean, obviously, he wants to be here, and certainly wants to be a part of what we get done here. He's really shot the ball well. He's shot the ball much better than what he shot it before. He spent a lot of time fixed some things with it. But he when it looked like they were about ready to make a run, he's the guy who made big shots for us.
You might not see a defensive team like UAB again this season, but like similar to Navy, is it good to see all these different looks early in the season, or does it really not matter?
Honestly, I don't. I would assume that there's people in our league that are going to guard that well. Obviously, we got 2 more before we get into league play, and I haven't looked at those 2 teams yet. So if we do what we're supposed to do, because we have enough guys can make shots. And when you think, I think a big moment in the game was when they were making a run and Trey's open at 3 and Trey hits a 3. So now you got a whatever he is, 6'8", 6'9" guy stepping out there and making threes. I think it really opened things up for us.
Coach, UAB kind of came out with a really physical tone right at the beginning, like the first 10 minutes, I would say. And do you think your guys answered that well? And do you think that's something that will help you in Big 12 play whenever you're playing, like you said, a lot tougher defense?
I don't think physicality is going to bother that group at all. It's more physical than that in practice. So I don't think the physicality part of it will hurt them. their athleticism, maybe. That's an athletic group that Andy's got. Very athletic group.
With an athletic group like that likes to get up and down the floor, one of the fastest paces in the country. During that second half, you went on, I believe, a 6-0 run. All of it was at the free throw line. How important was that, not just to get those points, but to slow them down?
Well, I obviously Andy and I are very close, but yeah, I've got great respect. Our guys have great respect for Zelly. But as I said numerous times leading into the game, he hadn't played against Keedy yet. And if somebody can match his speed, Keedy can. And Keedy did a year ago. I mean, if you think about it, Keedy turned the game around a year ago. And he's got, Keedy's a terrific on-the-ball defender. And then you add Joe, and so now you got two guys working on him on any kind of switch situation or whatever. But I've got a lot of confidence in what Keedy can do in terms of being able to guard the ball, whomever it is.
How much does the versatility help you? The fact that you got Emmett can bring the ball up the court or do that, shoot outside, inside, Trey the same kind of thing now. I mean, you got 2 point guards that also can score. It's a versatile. You have a lot of options out there.
Yeah, if Emmett can figure out to get it up there before the 10-second count, yeah. No, he's. I think our versatility is really good. Emmett was very good when he was here the first time, and he's just shooting the ball so much better now, and he's so much more mature now that he's a different guy. I think we're a hard team to guard, and Eric had a bad day today, and usually it's Eric that everybody worries about, and everybody's concerned about how well he can shoot it and can kind of take over games. But Emmett was the guy today. Emmett was the guy who made big shots for us.
Bob, is this a game that kind of everything you're saying here about the options, the versatility, kind of explains who you got and what you did in the portal? It's not that A, B, UAB, but you definitely had plan B, plan C, counters, things like that. You didn't get stuck in a corner today.
Well, Mike, it's hard to, and it works different for different people, in terms of, like a year from now, who knows who we'll have. Guys kind of come and go quite a bit these days, but it's hard to imagine that somebody like Joe is out there with looking for a home, and he plays so hard, and I think he sets the tone for our other guys. He plays so hard, and he's really good with the ball. It looks like at times he's out of control. It looks like but I think that's part of his deal is that it's hard to get a beat on him, because he can do so many things, and he passes the ball, gets the ball to the right people at the right time. He's been great. He's a good free throw shooter. You put him and Keedy in the backcourt, it's hard to get a good shot now.
Look inside Emmett a little bit. Just the idea that here's a guy that came here, played 30 years, seemed to like it here, yet went home because of going home, then came back, but didn't come back with what he left with. I mean, it was very important to him not only to come back, but to complete his game. I mean, he could have come back and just been the same Emmett.
Yeah, but I mean, Emmett's a bright guy, and Emmett knew that, and I think what people don't know is that Emmett's sister came here, and Emmett's sister's still here, going to school here. She didn't take the sabbatical year that Emmett did. She stayed. That's true. She stayed here in Morgantown. They love it here. They love it here. They love the people. And he really sincerely wanted to play for West Virginia, which is really neat. And when you think about it, a guy from all the way out in Washington State to think that much about coming back here and making a run. But it's kind of like you feel unfulfilled, when you don't. I mean, we were good when he was here, but we weren't great. And I think he wanted to be able to play on a team that was great.
Bob, next time they play, you may have a waiver the second semester, maybe technically starting. I know you haven't seen him practice, but from what you know about, let's say.
I have a what, Mike? I'm sorry.
You may have a waiver, you may have a new guard, right? The second semester technically starts, I guess. So, I haven't seen practice, I understand, but.
I've stayed, Mike, I have totally stayed out of that.
You watch film a little bit. Just what do you think that he can? I'm being honest, I have not watched film. Okay.
No, I have not.
So you trust
I mean, I've had people call and tell me things of what he can and he can't do, and what his strengths are and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't watched any film. Believe it or not, I didn't watch a whole lot of film and the portal stuff. I mean, I watched enough that I said, let's take this one or let's take that one. But I honestly didn't watch film. I mean, I can tell you this: just being around and kind of going through the deal of, you got to wait longer. And you do everything that you're supposed to do, and you do the waiver and all that stuff, and then then people say, well, we have to check this, we have to check that, we have to do this, we have to do that. I mean, you think about it, man, that it would irritate the heck out of me.
How long does it take to get someone warmed up? How about practices, a couple weeks?
I don't know, man. You're asking me questions. I honest to God don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, you could suppose probably. I mean, being the exceptional writer that you are, you could write a supposition.
Is this time, next few weeks coming up difficult? I mean, you got finals this week, so your practices are a little bit, in and out.
Not really. We got 2 games. Got 2 games, so you got something to look forward to. I think what's hard is when it's like just a dead week. It's a dead week, and you're taking finals, and you're not in the gym. What I think you got to understand is these guys being comfortable is being in the gym. I think that's the way most guys are that love to play and love basketball. I mean, you're not real comfortable unless you're in the gym. So we're gonna practice. We're gonna take days off. They can come in and do individual stuff all they want. That's the beauty of having the practice facility, is they've got a place anytime they want to come in and get shots up or go in and work on something.
Bob, do you like what you got out of Jimmy today?
I love Jimmy to death, man. I mean, Jimmy's to go through what that guy went through and to lose the weight that he lost and the way that he runs now, the way that he jumps now. They said he couldn't score.
So is he close to being that guy that can score for you?
He scored pretty good. I mean, he's still got more work to do with his footwork, but most bigs do.